Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today?
We're good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. My name is Trey Mangum, and I am from an American publication called Shadow. And we cover Black Hollywood as well as Black creatives across the entire African diaspora. So I am so excited to chat with you all today about Blood and Water Season 2. I just want y'all to know how big Blood and Water is in America. Like, it's like some people treat it as our new, like, Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars, like all those type of like classic teen dramas. So we love the series over here, and that's why I'm so excited to chat with you all today to talk about the series and season 2. I've seen 5 episodes. I haven't seen the whole thing, so we can dig into a little bit, but not too much, because I don't want to spoil anything. But I have seen the first 5 episodes, and I'm so excited to chat with you guys today about it. So, Khosi, I'll start with you first, because our girl Fikile, she was going through it near the end of last season. Like, she was struggling with a lot of things, and at the end of the season she learns this big secret, and we see that carry over into season 2, and she's still going through it, at least during the first part of the season. She's still going through it, and learning a lot of things about herself, and weighing the pros and cons of certain situations. So generally, what do you think are some of the biggest differences between Fikile in season 1 and in season 2?
Right. Fikile in season 1 is very sheltered, I think. She lives in a bubble. She strives for perfection, and I think like when we find her in season 1, she is actually trying to pave her own way, trying to sort of find her own voice and her own identity. That is besides everything that everyone has labeled her to be. This rich girl, she's trying to show the world that actually there's more to me. So while she's doing that, this whole thing happens around her entire identity as well. And everything that she's known is like in question now. So in season 2, she's obviously battling with that, in denial. She's angry, she's confused. But within all of that chaos internally, I feel like she does find strength within herself. She almost finds her own voice in how she wants things to progress. So she makes the decisions that she makes the decisions. Why can't I speak? It's been a long day.
It's a tongue twister.
She makes some choices, to sort of control the narrative a bit, because she's just tired of things happening to her. And so I feel like in season 2, she has a more hands-on role in how the story progresses and finding out the truth and all of that.
Yeah. And Cindy, for you, first of all, Zama is one of my favorite characters of the series. She's so cool. And in most of season 1, she kind of had the role of Pulang's bestie, her best friend or whatever. And in this season, we kind of see her, get a lot more storyline of her own, and we learned a lot more about, Zama's own motivations and things like that. So for you, what's been the best part about beginning to explore more and more of Zama in season 2 as opposed to season 1?
The best part, I think with me, every scene with Zama, I honestly get something new out of it, and something I never thought she had within her. But with this, outside of her being a great friend to Puling, which is something that will never change, she'll stick on it. But not only that, she goes through her own journey when it comes to love, and she makes certain decisions where she's just like, oh, I think this is comfortable for me. I think I want to do this. So why not? Let me try it out. And also when she's fine with this, she's just like, I think this is not the space I want to be in, or the situation I want to be in. So she's very firm, and then she removes herself from that situation. So she sticks to her decisions. She's just like, this is what I'm going to do, and this is not what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And Leroy, you play one of the new kids on the block this season. First of all, in general, what's been the feeling like joining this incredible cast? And What can you tease about your character? Because I feel like as the season continues to play out, he has a lot of interesting connections to other characters that we necessarily don't see at the beginning of the season. So what's it been like being a part of this cast and the show?
Absolutely amazing. It's been one of the best experiences of my life. And, I loved everything, off set and on set as well. I loved connecting with the cast, getting to know the cast that I was working with and forming, lasting friendships with really great people. And I love just, being able to learn so much from everybody as well. And I think specifically on set, just watching, all these talented and creative individuals create this masterpiece, this work of art, and being able to be a collaborative partner in that was honestly such a blessing that I'm truly grateful for. And yeah, like you said, as the season develops, we get to see a lot more of Sam as not just this quirky guy, who is smooth, but, we get to see the fact that he wears his heart on his sleeve and that he really cares about the people that he loves, and that at the end, he values family above everything else.
Yeah, for sure. And Khosi, I wanted to speak on the fact that again, Blood and Water is such a big, not just like local series, it's a big global series. Like people in so many countries around the world are able to watch you all. And how does it feel to be kind of like a global sensation now, to have fans all across the globe, and kind of the trajectory from like season one, the show being really new and gaining fans, to season two, where people are already familiar with you and you have tons of fans across the globe. I know every time they post Blood and Water on the Strong Black Lead Instagram and Twitter pages, people go wild. Like, it's crazy. So how does that feel to have so many fans across the globe and to have this show resonate with so many people?
It's really humbling, like you said, it is a global sensation. And we didn't really expect it to reach as many people as it did, but Netflix being the platform that it is, of course it would have reached the entire world. But if anything, for me, it's encouraging, to hear from all the fans from all over the world, Brazil, America, even just people saying, wow, like I feel so inspired. And yeah, sometimes I get in my feels about it. But it just shows you how universal everything is and how we're essentially all the same. Like the fact that people can relate to a South African story all over the world just shows you that we're one, and that is something that I want people to, acknowledge more.
Yeah. And going off of that, Cindy, Blood and Water is such a big moment, not only for South African storytelling, but for African storytelling, for Black storytelling across the diaspora, and having these stories from Africa on a global scale. Like, it's literally game changing. So how do you hope the show continues to impact South African entertainment and African entertainment in general? Because Blood and Water is probably the first time a lot of people have seen a series outside of Africa. So that's impact right there. So what do you hope the general impact is of people watching this show and this show in general?
For me, I honestly want us, I hope actually, that we're able to touch a lot of lives in different ways and also educate a lot of people around the world. Because I feel like, yes, we're in different places, but we go through the same life experiences. We go through the same journeys in different places. So I think mostly with me, I really just want us to, while having fun, enjoying the show, but learn something with what people or the young ones experience, when it comes to love, when it comes to high school, what happens in school, and also parents, with the parents getting to know more about their kids, what actually happens when I'm not around, what can I actually educate my child with when watching Blood and Water. I think it helping a lot of people and touching and mostly just connecting us, even if we're in different places, by educating us with everything that we go through on a daily basis.
For sure, for sure. And I think that's the good thing about it, is I also feel like it's something for everybody in this series. Like it's about teenagers, but like the themes aren't only for teenagers, the themes are for everyone in the show. And I think that's a great part about it. And Leroy, what are some things, without spoiling too much, because I don't want to get into any spoilers, but what are some things that you think may surprise people about this new season of the show?
I think not necessarily surprise, but I think rather intrigue and kind of interest. And I think that the fans are definitely going to love the fact that they get to learn a lot more about every single character. And they get to learn every character's motivations and why they make the decisions that they make, what their backstory is, like what's happening at home, and it gets really real in season 2. And, it strikes up some interesting conversations. And, I'm pretty sure you've noticed that, having watched Blood and Water season 2. And so I'm really excited for that, for people to see that character development from each and every character, and also the introduction of some new characters, the school guidance counselor, Janet Kosana, and her son, Sam, which is the character that I play, and all the other new characters that come onto season 2, just the introduction of those characters and, how they kind of match up with the energy that is already, established in season 1.
Yeah. Personally, when I met the guidance counselor, I was feeling, I was like, something's off. Like I was like, I didn't know what it was, but something is off. And then as the season plays out, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
like during the whole thing. So I definitely feel that for sure. And a question I have for all of you, actually, what are some of your favorite moments about filming season 2 of the show? Like, is there anything that you look back on and like, oh, this was great, this was lit, this was this and that? What are some favorite memories that you have of shooting season 2 of the show?
So personally, I think the fact that we were kind of bubbled together as the cast, and we got to spend a lot of time together. So when we weren't filming, we were spending time together, making supper together, sharing meals, going out and, just getting to know each other a lot more. And I think we definitely got closer as a cast. And so Blood and Water, literally the cast feels like family. And so that was really exciting for me, and I think for most of us as well.
Yeah, definitely. That too, and learning to surf.
Oh wow.
At least somewhat surfing. I don't know if you can call that surfing, but that was really cool. That was really fun for me. It was on my bucket list. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting question. I think for me, I don't have something specific, a specific scene or a specific moment. I feel like every moment, or rather every scene with Zama, was an experience. It was a great experience. It was exciting for me. So I really can't pinpoint as to what exactly.
Everything was just so great. It's like everything. It was like the whole thing, every moment of it. Well, those are all the questions I have for you all today. I thank you so much. And I need a favor. So like, if you all could tell anybody at Netflix that we need more episodes of Blood and Water, like we need 15, 20, because listen, every time I watch an episode of Blood and Water,
yeah,
I'm always like, I don't want to binge, like I want to take some time in between them.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, after this episode, I'm gonna eat. After this episode, I'm gonna do some work or whatever. But in the last 10 seconds of every episode, there is a cliffhanger. And like, I can't do it. I have to be like, wait, I have to see how this is gonna play out. I'm like, next, end, next. I'm like always like going back and back. So like when I got to the final episode, they gave us episode 5. I just like sat there at my TV for a while. I was like, I need more. So I'm so excited for the full season to drop on Friday, because I need answers. I need to know what's gonna happen, because I love the show, but it stresses me out at the same time, because I'm like, I'm like, Pule, no, these right? Not like I'm always like that. But thank you all so much.
You'll get your answers.
Yes. Thank you so much. And also just know that we love you here in America, and keep up the good work. We love the show so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.